Hello. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. January was pretty tough. I I haven't made a lot of new trades since my last stream, so that's why I'm not streaming because I think I've only made 4 or 5 trades in the past maybe 6 or 7 trading days, and most of them are just losses. I only get RR. I bought it on the Tuesday and then I sold it on Thursday for a small gain, I think, maybe a 10% gain, maybe a decent gain, but it's still a round trip. I gave up maybe 2/3 of my profits. So January trading is pretty difficult. Up 40% and then 2 days later down 20% and then close below the low of the breakout day. And the rest are all the losses. I think I've traded no, ASTS got stopped out, and then I traded Lemonade on this gap up day, but it stops me out also 2 days later. Yeah, I thought the close is pretty strong, and then I think okay, it may go for more, but it came back right away. Still, the market is very choppy as December. Very choppy. Only very few stocks made a decent move, and most of them are just chopping around. And even those names that are making moves, they are hard to trade. Like they have a lot of shakeouts. It's very hard to find a tight risk entry and putting a tight stop. And sometimes the shakeouts are just hunt your stops out, and then you're getting stopped out, and then it reverses back to the upside. Yes, I agree. Like the first 30 minutes are very hard to trade, and then I also observed the spread is is higher for the first, especially for the first 15 minutes after the market open. And a lot of the move in the first 15 minutes are the fake outs. The real moves comes in maybe 30 minutes after the market open, or even an hour after it. Yeah, and a lot of the names are not looking good as after December, many names are starting to show some weakness, especially this open. I think a lot of people traded this gap up, but they gap into the anchor VWAP, and then eventually, actually a pretty good short entry here on the last Thursday, but I think it's still like, yeah, still above the 21 weekly. So I just skip it, and then, but I think right now will be more, we're shifting the focus more to the short side instead of the long side. Unity too, like it's starting to lose the EMAs. I expect it to like maybe hold above the 50, but it didn't. And Monday, this reversal is pretty good too. Although like are there any 15 minutes entry? Could be. Yeah, it could be a short entry for the 15-minute breakout or a 5-minute breakout. And the next day also looks pretty good. I keep missing the short entries. I believe the main reason is I got stopped out too many times in December. It really like weakens my confidence, and then I need some time to pick it up. So that's the um that is spiraling effect of over trading. Like not only you would it would damage your financial capital, also but also your mental capital as well. So the potential gains that you missed out also like count as the part of the loss of overtrading. Uh, but I shorted the gold and silver yesterday on the opening range breakouts. That is I think the best trades that I've took in January so far. Trying to swing these two shorts for a longer period because the weekly is really extended, and I think there will be a pullback to at least maybe weekly 21, or even the weekly 50 is not it's not very unexpected. It's very possible, although it seems impossible from now that it's 30%. And silver is 50% above the 50 EMA on the weekly. That is incredible. I also took the loss on the silver on this day on Monday. I also shorted this one. It's not a loss, but it's a break-even trade. But I also like to swing the shot for a longer period of time, at least the daily 50. But eventually it comes back up, and then I'm out for a break-even. The last few days for the commodity shorts are tough. Like keeps chopping around, and then it's really extended. Like on the daily, like here is 35% above the 50 EMA and also 50% above the 150 EMA. Most of the moves from the past decades are not that extended. The one that is really extended is at the 1979, but the chart is like I can't really see the charts there, but you can just barely like it's 70% above the 50 EMA. But apart from that, like most of the extended moves are not that extended, like only 16% and 26% compared to the move we're having now. I'm probably gonna cover some today before the weekend, but I'm going to swing more than half, majority of of the shorts, hopefully to the 50-day, hopefully. So my plan for next week is not going to lock in my brokerage account until it hit the 50-day. Then I can click the sell the buy button. The volatility is too high. Like it can, like yesterday, it almost comes back. It almost like shakes me out. The second and the third hour is like it's very strong. Like it has a really strong bounce, and it also reclaimed the anchor free at midday, which is not which is not good. But yeah, I just held. Oklo and SMR is my one of the shorts target short candidate. Maybe not today, but I think the weekly, especially SMR, looks pretty bad. So any bounce today 21 and then 9 EMA will be a pretty good shot. So I think it's like the 50 EMA on the 1 hour chart. Nvidia is strong. Nvidia is holding the anchor feedback from the swing high and closes very strong close very strongly. And but the general market is pretty weak. So I'm just gonna follow the focus more on the short side and maybe like shorting the rebound to the declining 9 for IWM. I'm not shorting IWM, but finding some short entries when the IWM is bouncing into the declining 9. But it's a bit aggressive, so I don't know. Like I believe any bounce into the declining maybe 21 on the hourly chart for gold and silver is a potential short opportunity, especially near the previous lows area. Like for silver will be like around 106, or even maybe the 50 EMA crosses the 150. I really believe these kind of opportunities are maybe once in a decade, especially for gold and silver, which is two of the most popular, largest commodities that can be traded. Very, very rarely you will see this kind of a parabolic move. I think gold, the market cap for gold is 30 trillion. Like for this market cap, you have to, and it's going up for almost 30% in just 2 to 3 weeks. It's pretty insane. S&DK 40, I think also pretty close. I think we're maybe, I'm not sure about today, but let's see, can it face? Can we get it intraday entry for today for the shots? Give it a try. Could be. Lumen is one of the names that really interests me. I love this base, copper handle. Also, bouncing into the anchor freeway. So it's a like break and retest. Now it's holding up very well, but the earnings is coming up in 2 days. I'm probably like trading this SMR 5-minute breakouts to the downside. Hopefully it can go up a little bit to maybe 1920 percent DK. Maybe not today. Maybe I really think there is lows very close to the still below the anchor free web for SNDK. Could be worth another try. Hopefully can pull back to the anchor free web. Hopefully. The second try. SMR starting to pull back to the EMAs. Really look forward to any reversal from here. All this MSTR. Wednesday is a wonderful day for the shorts, and then it was going a little bit too fast, and then I just skip it. I'm just missing the 5-minute breakdown. And on Wednesday, I think the RR is it's Tuesday. Yeah, I'm not that confident on the short side. So and then just skip it. And yesterday has huge follow through. Kills are still holding the 9 EMA. I think it may need a little bit more time, or like similar to what market did in the past 2 months. Like You can just chop around. No significant trend. Yeah, I don't know. But I think this SMR is a really good one. I will trade this one. Dash is a pretty good one too, but it's too slow. Little bit too slow. And IWM starting to show relative weakness since last week. And this is not a good sign for the market breadth. But generally, before a deep market correction, the market breadth tends to decline before the correction. So I'm not wait for the breakdown, and then I think this is good enough for the entry. If it stops me out today, I'm probably going to take another try. Maybe it goes to 1940-ish. Overshoots the EMA a bit. It's also pretty good. I'm using a smaller sizing for Oklo, this one, because the weekly it is stronger than SMR, and then I don't want to take too much risk on the new trades, as I've already got stopped out on SNDK once. Looks like gold and silver are getting rejected pretty heavily. I don't like that. I prefer to go sideways for maybe 2 to 3 candles before another leg down. But if it's going really extended to the downside, like if it's going to the 21 EMA for today, then I probably need to sell more. Probably need to maybe sell more than half of the position. I'm sorry, I'm going to buy, like cover the shorts. But the best scenario is just like riding the EMAs down, not on a 90 degree angle. Actually, for gold, yesterday it retested the anchor VWAP, but actually the VWAP on the intraday chart from the open tested twice. Really good intraday entry before the flush down. And also, if you consider shorting the breakdown on this candle here, would be also really nice. The stop is really tight, and then I risk more than 0.5% on these two shorts, because I have very high conviction in these two in this trades. I really don't think that could be such a good parabolic opportunities, like in the coming maybe 5 to 10 years for gold and silver, specifically. It's just once in a decade, or even once in several decades. The volume is so gigantic, enormous volume, and it's starting to speed up. And then there's the first fake the fake breakdowns for silver, which makes the real flush, like the second breakdown or the third, maybe, like in a parallel universe, the more like makes the later entries, like these things can't go up forever, especially for a market cap for a 30 something trillion market cap, 35 or 33. Oklo, it just simply pulls back to the 9 and the 21, declining 9 and 21, and the moving averages are very tight. On the weekly too, the weekly 9 is below, just crosses below the 21. And yesterday's reversal just shows the selling volume. It gets rejected from the 50-day. I don't know, but But the better one would be the 50 is below the 150. It would be more ideal. But anyway, it's still a very good setup. At least I can manage my risk very tight here. And I have some cushions from the gold and silver short, so then I can gradually starting to be a bit more aggressive. So that's why I prefer SMR more than Oklo. The 50 is below the 150, and the weekly chart too. Like EMAs are trending down. Probably moving my stop to maybe break even. No, I'm just keeping it here. Yeah, I'm really like flexible for my sell rules. Like also it hugely depends on the market, environment. So right now it's still, if there's a correction coming in the short future, then I'm going to like hold the shorts longer. Maybe riding. Yeah, I don't have a target now. I don't know. But if I'm shorting, right here for the correction last year, then I'll be taking the profits more aggressively. Maybe just covering into the gap down when it accelerates. But I love covering the shorts into the weakness. Like if it's going down fast. So if it's a pretty extended, maybe around here, like it extended from the daily hourly EMAs, then I would love to cover in these areas rather than the bounce, like rather than covering into strength. So I think I'm probably like sell all in the first gap down candle here, maybe. But this day is an earnings day, so the faster it goes down, that the more I'll cover. And I don't know, I feel pretty confident for the shorts that I've taken today. I think the market could have a maybe 10% correction, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to be too bearish. Still, there are a lot of stocks holding up pretty well, but most of them are extended. Like they don't really have a long base. They're just riding the EMAs up. Incredible. I do think we need to have a deeper correction, but for those stocks to build a longer base. I don't like the yesterday's candle, but if you're shorting near the 21 EMA, then I think, yeah, that's not a good trade, but like a fair one. And it's too slow, I think. It's a bit too slow, or maybe not. I don't know. And yeah, it's also very close to the weekly 9 and 21. But given the current environment, like the semis are they starting to lose the steam? But I would choose, like, how about, yeah, but I don't like shorting the strongest sector. Although Broadcom is the weaker one. It's the laggard in the sector, but I don't like shorting the strongest sector in the market right now. But it looks weak, yeah, but it's a fair one. It's okay, I think. How much time took me to be profitable? I would say 2 years or 3 years, because I actually never had a down year since 2020. Like, because I tripled my account in the very early in the first 4 months after I opened the brokerage account, and then I have a 50% drawdown in 2021. But I believe the first 2 months, or January 2021, I made more than 50%. So overall, the overall 2021, it's still a great year. But I definitely not consider myself as profitable by then. So I think it takes 2 to 3 years for me, and but I think the time doesn't really matter. It really depends on how much time you have devoted to trading, and also like your personality, how how quick you can learn from the mistakes, and no, I don't have a daily loss limits of losing trades. But I think I don't think I'm good at like controlling my losses. So I don't know. Maybe I think a three to five losing trades per for one trading day is a good limit. But generally, when the environment is really good, you won't have more than three. I don't think. Yeah, I think generally you won't have more than three or five losing trades in one trading day. The cipher started to lose the EMAs and the anchor VWAP. Wolf is pretty weak too. Not a good sign. What is this? This is called Wolf. Nvidia is really strong. Amazon too. I really believe the semis and the memory names need to have a longer base, have a longer consolidation after this huge run. Yeah, taking too many small losses. I also I also I've also facing this problem too. The best advice that I can give you would be um sometimes I focus too much on the charts, on the pattern, on the candlestick, like on the chart patterns. But I believe um, I believe the market environment contributes more than half of a trade. Like a successful trade that really needs the market environment to cooperate. So really good looking setup or really good looking chart patterns is not adequate, or it's not the major factor that you should consider when you're entering a stock. If I'm getting more and more stocks into the lagging watch list, I will be very cautious. But sometimes I will be too cautious, so that I'm taking, like I'm doing the shorts too aggressively. Like I'm shorting too early, too aggressive for doing the short side. But the market environment really doesn't matter. That's why most of my long trades didn't work very well in the past 2 months. Like it's easier to be said than done. Like it's sometimes you just couldn't resist. You just you just click the buy button because there's like the chart looks so great. And if you're getting stopped up very frequently, like maybe from your past 10 trades, the past 10 entries, maybe 8 of them failed, or even 10 of them failed, then your own trade feedbacks is more accurate than any other indicator. Generally, if you are facing a consecutive losses, then there's probably not the time to keep pushing. I think back then I didn't like study 10 hours every day, but I did like spend a lot of time. I can't recall, but because I'm really really interested in trading and trying to learn the new knowledge, like to study the charts, and then listening to the podcast, reading the trading books, like doing all the study stuffs, because I'm very new to trading. I don't know much, and now I still don't know much. But back then is uh I really think that trading is really really fun, and then I got fascinated and fully immersed in trading every day. Like even when I'm attending the lectures, I'm reading trading books, or just scrolling the charts, scrolling. Are there any opportunities for the next trading day? But I think um I did spend a lot of time, but the most important thing I think is you have to be really really passionate. You can really feel the fun when you're studying, not when you're trading. Like when you are clicking the buttons in the market hours when the market is open. My favorite trading book. I really love reading the How I Make $2 Million in the Stock Market by Nicholas Davis. I think that's one of the one of my favorites. Also, the Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, like the Jesse Livermore, that one. And also I also like the Mark Minervini's the first book, like Trade Like a Stock Market Wizard, the first one. And recently I've read a book that is not very trading related. It's called like Peak Performance by um Brett Stuberg and Steve Magnus. I think I wish I pronounced them right. Peak Performance. So they're talking about how to keep playing your game at a high level. I think it's not very trading related, but um it's very beneficial for you to like for the mental, the how the also the mental side and psychological side. Yes, I definitely will feel upset when I'm in a downswing, but the more downswing you have experienced, the less upset that you will be. Is like every feeling um of different experience, like the feeling would be mm, like marginally diminished, and also the feeling of winning too, when you have a really good run, really good month. The first time, like when I like tripled my account right after I opened my account, and then I was super super happy. But right now I'm having a like may last year I did a 900% year. I'm I think I'm feeling less happier than what I felt in four years ago. And I believe it's really normal. And as a trader, you don't want to be too emotional for your gain and losses. Just a little bit is the optimal one. I do play video games, PC games, and I do running. I play poker, and also love reading too. starting to learn guitar, but I don't know whether it would how long it would last. Like 2 years ago, I bought a new guitar and then I learned it for maybe 3 months, and then I give up. Recently, I wanted to pick up this habit. Hopefully, hopefully I can make some progress. Acoustic. I play online poker. Yeah, I do play online poker, but less frequently now. Actually, not. I haven't played online poker for a long time, but I really played a lot when 2 or 3 years ago, especially when I'm studying in Germany when I'm on an exchange. So thanks for joining the stream, and I think tomorrow Richard will release the interview. Hopefully you can find some valuable insights from it. And I don't think that next week I'm probably not going to trade very actively. But I don't know, maybe not, maybe. So hopefully I can hold my gold and silver short till they touch the 50 day, till they return back to their home. Thanks for joining, and see you in the next one.